Your Honor, I'm going to stop this at 1 minute and 37 seconds. The victim does not return into the frame. The only other things that the state would like to proffer as far as this bond hearing, since the court does not have a probable cause affidavit, of course, since it's a grand jury referral, defendant Kewon White was also indicted. You do have his murder probable cause affidavit from 2020. He was also indicted at that same time in cause number F2175377 for Dr. Randall Graham, who also sustained injuries, a neurosurgeon who was heading north on I-35 that day and was struck as well. However, he did survive. And finally, Your Honor, the last thing that I would proffer at this time would be that there were a total of 44 fired cartridge casings, all from the same style of firearm as far as the caliber that were recovered on the freeway on November 11, 2020. And at this time, Your Honor, state the rest.
The defense.
Judge, this time we call Ms. Alexander to the stand.
And raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that in all matters before the court, you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So I'll be going. You may be seated.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Alexander, could you introduce yourself to the court and spell your last name for the court reporter?
Yes, my name is Alma Jean Alexander, Alexander. I'm Markies' grandmother.
Ms. Alexander, are you currently employed?
No, I retired from Dallas County in 2014.
Now, when you tell the judge you retired from Dallas County in 2014, what was your occupation?
Deputy clerk.
And just for the record, a deputy clerk, what does a deputy clerk do?
Process paperwork from the attorneys for the judge. Basically handle the paperwork for the courts.
And this is a building that you were employed, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And back in the clerk's room, where in the old days, we had a lot of paperwork. Lawyers would take the file, take it back to the clerk. You would handle the file stamps and put all the papers into the file.
And type up the judgments.
Type up the judgments. Can we back up a little bit? Just tell the judge a little bit about where were you born and when did you move to Dallas County?
I was born in Washington, Arkansas. I moved to Dallas County when I was 11. So I've been here like 63 years.
And being Markies' grandmother, could you explain the dynamics of your family as far as where are they located and how many grandchildren do you have and where does Markies fall in the family relationship?
Okay, Markies was my first grandson, first grandchild. I have 11 grandchildren and 8 great-grands. Of course, Markies being the first grandchild, we were always close because you're excited with your first grandchild. So you try to do everything you can and instill in them good values. He's been a godsend to a lot of his family members. He helps everybody in the family. I know it's hard sometimes because when you have people pulling on you and you just trying to stretch money, you know, it doesn't always pan out. But he's always helped whenever needed. He's just been.
Let me interrupt you just a minute. When you say, let's just go back a little bit. Did he go to public schools here in Dallas County?
Yes, he did.
Was he born and raised here in Dallas County?
Yes, yes, he was.
And does he currently work here in Dallas County?
Yes, he's an entertainer.
Okay, and as an entertainer, so we can explain to the court, what type of entertainment does he do?
Music.
And, has he done well in his music career?
Yes.
And in the music career, you have a persona, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it's a persona out there for your career is different with the family fold, is that right?
Right.
Him being your grandson, did he go to church here in Dallas County?
Yes, he went to church with me often. That was one of my requirements when he'd spend the weekend.
And how often do you talk, and have a relationship with, Markies?
When he's in town, 2 or 3 times a week. When he's out of town, sometime once a week.
His relatives, are they here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And is his mother back there in the courtroom?
Yes, she is.
Okay, and for the record, could you just tell the, is that Miss Kimberly Rush?
Right.
Is, his family here, are they all here in Dallas County or Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex?
Vicinity, yes.
Are you here to just tell the judge he has sufficient ties to this community?
Yes, he does. He does.
Now, as far as, does he have any children?
Yes, he has 2 sons,
And how old are his children?
5 and 7.
Is he, have you observed him being involved in his children's life?
Yeah, we go to football games for the little ones all the time. He's always got them in sports.
Okay, so he's out there in the community, coaching up his sons and other kids that play on the football team.
Yeah, I call him the Joe Jackson of the sports.
You call, Joe Jackson being Markies?
Yeah. Joe Jackson was Michael Jackson's father. You know how he pushed them to be great and good. So I said that's what he's trying to do with his boys.
I'm glad you cleared that up. There's other Joe Jacksons, but yes, I can get that Joe Jackson would be well involved in his family. So
Yeah.
you're telling the judge he's from Dallas County, significant ties, and he's involved with his family. As far as you're aware that he is been arrested for this charge
Yes.
of payment for hire for a murder. And this happened back in 2020. You're aware, you saw the video and you heard the prosecutor talk about
Yeah, and Facebook.
their version of the facts.
Right.
How long has he been in jail?
Oh, 8 days since last Thursday.
The bond set at $2 million. Has he been able to post that bond and get out of jail?
He's still sitting here. No, he hasn't.
We're asking the court for a $250,000 bond based on, do you believe that Mr. Conway could post a $250,000 bond?
I'm pretty sure we can get it together.
And are you telling this court that he's not able to post a $2 million bond?
No, he's not.
That's the witness.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Alexander.
Good morning.
My name is Tommy Adams. If you have any questions with my questions, I don't form them in a good way, please just ask me to repeat myself and I will do so, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate you being down here. I'm sure this is not an easy day for you. So, thank you. You worked for the Dallas County within the clerk's office up until 2014, correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Alexander, are you aware that there was a bond schedule that judges could set bonds on different level offenses within this courthouse?
Yes.
And are you aware that that bond schedule has since been done away with and was subject to a federal lawsuit against all the district judges within Dallas County?
No.
Now, when you talk about your grandson being an entertainer, I mean, he's more than just an entertainer, correct?
Yes.
He's in fact a double platinum artist, correct?
Right.
Now, going back to 2020 and the years leading up to that, well, let me ask you this. Are you aware of your grandson owning a 2017 Denali?
Yes.
And what does that Denali, what is special about that Denali?
It's bulletproof.
It's bulletproof. Now, Ms. Alexander, I can't imagine in all your years working here at the clerk's office that you ever felt like you needed a bulletproof vehicle.
I don't need one.
Now, Ms. Alexander, would you agree with me that in 2020 and the years leading up to 2020, that there was a lot of stuff going on in the city of Dallas surrounding, and to be quite honest, our victim, Melvin Noble, and your grandson, Markies Conway?
I try not to delve into Facebook and hearsay because I know him for myself. So,
Well, let me ask you this way. Are you aware your grandson was shot in Plano?
yeah, I was there.
You weren't there at 3 a.m., were you?
I was at the hospital.
Correct, okay.
Mhm.
But you would agree with me that even if you're not on Facebook, I mean, this stuff was on TMZ. I think your grandson even did an interview on TMZ with those folks on live TV about this. So you're aware that there was a back and forth going on in this city involving your grandson as well as Mr. Noble, the complainant in this capital murder case. You're aware of that at least, right?
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay. Is that the reason your grandson felt the need to get a bulletproof Denali?
No, he felt the need because people are jealous and you don't know who's gonna do what, when or where.
Now, are you aware of whether or not he had to, if a Denali comes that way off the lot, or do you have to actually pay money to get something like that done?
I have no idea how it happened, where it happened, why it happened. I just know he had it.
Sure. And as far as your grandson being in custody for approximately 8 days, defense asked you initially how long he'd been in jail and if he was able to make a $2 million bond. And your initial answer was, no, he hasn't. And then when they followed up with whether or not he can make a $2 million bond, that's when you said, no, he cannot, correct?
Right.
Now, especially with all of your experience here in the county and working in the clerk's office, you're aware that when somebody has a $2 million bond, they can pay only 10% of that, correct?
Yes.
With the bondsman's help. Now, your grandson is a double platinum recording artist, correct?
Correct.
And he lives in a mansion in Frisco, correct?
Correct.
And he has houses in other states, correct?
And I'm not aware of that.
Are you aware of him paying and helping to support other individuals in the family and also extended family and friends?
I'm not into his business like that.
You agree with me that your grandson is substantially well off, correct?
He might used to be, but if he could make a $2 million bond, he'd be out.
Would you agree with me though that there's a difference between can, want to, and choosing not to?
I'm aware of all of those things, but I know he don't want to be in here, so I know if he could afford it, he'd be out. Plus, he has other bills. He don't just have money laying around.
Sure. Now, Ms. Alexander, if I wanted to reach out to Ms. Rush, your daughter, what would be the best phone number to reach her at?
She's not my daughter.
Okay. Mr. Conway's mother, if I was going to reach out to her, what would be the best phone number to reach out to her at?
You don't have that information?
If you were going to reach out to her, not me.
Judge, I'm gonna object to bantering with the witness and relevancy here. We're kind of veering off to and getting in discovery. The state hadn't showed us their case. They made a proffer here. It seems like they can do their discovery outside the courtroom.
Objection overruled. You may proceed. Ma'am, you need to answer the question.
What was it?
If you were going to call Ms. Rush, what number would you call her at? If you need to check your phone, I'd be happy to wait.
Okay. Thank you. (214-554-5606)
5-6.
06.
Judge, again, I'm gonna object to this, as far as being public information and getting out to the public. This is a media case. This is an improper question. I know the judge just overruled me on this, but there is a fear of this getting out.
Well, it's out there now.
I would ask the court to seal the number the prosecutor had.
The court's gonna overrule your objection. I do understand and appreciate the concern that it was publicly announced. So I'm going to ask, you're asking that it be sealed?
I'm asking that it be sealed from the public. This is and the court is considered for this bond hearing, and that this not be published outside of the courtroom, the media sitting outside of the courtroom. And I think there's legitimate fear of us here, just like the state has their concerns. So that was my objection.
The court will grant that objection.
To seal.
Suspend that objection. You can use it for your purposes only. It cannot be published to anyone else.
Okay, sure. And Your Honor, the reason I'm asking, I'm gonna have another question too,
Go
is
ahead.
that in State's Exhibit number 6, which is the confidential affidavit of financial conditions, in which the defendant is asked to provide an emergency contact number, the only emergency contact person he lists is himself. And so, and the problem with that is that number that he listed for himself is according to Ms. Alexander, the same number. So I'm just trying to clear some things up. We don't have anything on the information here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Alexander, my follow-up to you is that if you were going to call your grandson 8 days ago, what number would you call him at? And if the defense wants this portion to be sealed, I'm fine with that too, but I think this is important information, Your Honor.
Well, could we have a write it down, perhaps?
That's fine.
Announcing it in court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tender to the defense, looks for Markies State's Exhibit number 7.
Okay.
Takes exhibit number 7 is admitted.
Now, Ms. Alexander, you testified that your grandson has significant ties to this community, correct?
Yes,
Born and raised in the greater Dallas area.
correct.
As far as how much time he spends in the city of Dallas, or more or less Dallas County and the surrounding areas at this point, do you know approximately how much time he spends in the greater Dallas area per month?
I'd say 3/4 of the time.
3/4 of the time. Now, just as far as his ability to travel and nature of that, like planes and getting around, you're aware that he travels quite a bit via private jet, commercial, all of that, correct?
Yes.
Does he have access to his own private jet?
No.
Do you know approximately how often he does fly private?
No, I don't.
But when he does that, he would be having to pay for those bills as well, correct?
Correct.
Do you agree with me that flying private is not the cheapest thing in the world to do?
Yes.
No further mistake, Ron.
Anything else from this witness?
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can step down. You have another witness?
Judge, I was gonna make the proffer we discussed, back in Chambers. May I make a proffer, Your Honor?
Yes.
Judge, a lot of us have been down here at this courthouse for 30 years. I'm not gonna go over the law. I know you understand, the bail bond, how we have been involved. I just wanted to point out in some of these cases where there's high profile in the state versus Michael Lucky, that was a capital murder case. That was in, criminal district court number 7, the court that we're in. That was a high profile case. That case involved an NBA player, that was initially set by the magistrate in the jail with a probable cause affidavit, where they had knowledge of the facts from what the police said. And that bond was originally set at $500,000. It was later reduced by the court to $100,000 with conditions. Co-defendant in that case, Larry Jenkins, cause number F2076397. This is the same set of facts case where the magistrate with a probable cause affidavit set it for $750,000. Another case in the state of Texas versus Antoine Franklin, capital murder case, 522-76141. This involved a famous football player out of Oklahoma. That case was set by the magistrate for $500,000. Again, probable cause affidavit. It was later reduced by the court to $200,000. Judge, in dealing with the bond schedule, you have bond conditions here that require electronic monitor. They have several conditions of probation, check-in, and curfews. We're proffering to the court here that the court has set bonds down here in Dallas County where the typical murders range between $150,000 and $200,000, and a capital murder can range, in these cases, in between $500,000 and $750,000, where the magistrate set them. The thing in this case that we're proffering, the magistrate had no probable cause affidavit. They had no facts, and in this case, we're asking the bond to be reduced in these facts. We'll argue here, but I just want to proffer those 3 cases.
All right, anything else?
We're closing, and we'd just like to argue.
Okay, state.
Your Honor, I would just, if I could, just briefly, I would also like to proffer just 2 cases since defense has brought up some cases that have come here from Dallas County. The first one I would like to bring up is F2475475. Defendant's name is Chaz Booth out of the 194th Judicial District Court. He's currently sitting in jail on a capital murder charge for $2 million. That defendant is not a celebrity, a basketball player, a football player, a musician, an artist, or anything like that.
Okay, what's the bond on that one?
$2 million.
Oh, 2 million.
He is a 20-year-old who is charged with capital murder. Additionally, we have Jordan Owens, who was recently sentenced F2377243, also a capital murder, and his bond was set at $1.5 million, and I believe that was in the 282nd Judicial District Court. And that's, as far as cases, I'm not going to keep going with. I'm not going to go back and forth. So that's all we have as far as rebuttal. I'm going to try.
Your arguments?
We'll wait and reserve the right for a rebuttal.
All right.
Judge, I'll begin and then Mr. Cusco will finish up with all. Your Honor, as you know, under 1715, the court considers certain facts in the bond reduction hearing and determining whether to reduce the bond. Here in this hearing, the court has before you been introduced two arrest affidavits. There is not the arrest affidavit of our client, that does not exist, but you do and have reviewed the arrest affidavits of Kewon White and Mr. Brown. Those arrest affidavits were taken on Kewon White was December 8, 2020, Devin Brown, March 18th of 2021. The offense itself is approximately 4 years and 4 months ago when it occurred. You carefully reviewed those affidavits and set out how the offense, and you saw the video. Nowhere in those affidavits is there any mention of our client, any mention of his role, any mention of connection to this case in either one of those affidavits that you have before you that you can consider. As far as the proffer given by the state, they choose what they can proffer. They said they have one person who overheard a conversation after the incident that happened on the highway in which he heard money being discussed and our client present at that during that conversation about paying money. You received no information in the proffer as to the credibility of that witness, if they have a bias or a motive for coming forward now at this time, 4 years, 4 months later, with this information. You only have you don't even have a proffer that this was a confidential informant, which you know requires some type of vetting, just that it's a person who said they were present during this one conversation. And that's the only evidence that you have before you this hearing that connects them to this offense. The state also proffered a bank record that said there was after the incident in November of 2020, there was a withdrawal of $40,000 cash. No proffer was made as to if that money, if there was traced anywhere to the other defendants charged in this offense. You've received no information of any text message, any message on social media platform that our client paid for this murder, any type of remuneration, no recording of any sort, just this person who came forward and said he overheard this conversation. As far as the bank records go, the only thing in evidence for the court are records that were back in 2020 when they quoted two different accounts which accounted for $800,000. You've heard no evidence as to his current financial bank records and what is in there. You only have before you testimony of the defendant's grandmother who told you he cannot make the bond, has not been able to make the bond, he cannot make the $2 million bonds. I'll let Mr. Boosie finish with the other parts of the argument.
Judge, thank you. I'm not gonna go back over what Mr. Shook said. What the court has before you is a case that's been investigated for 5 years. And my client, Conway, is a citizen in this community that has no flight issues. He has not left this community. He stays in this community. His family is sitting right back here in the courtroom that showed up to the support in this community. A big factor of this is that he has significant ties to this community. The current bond conditions that you have in place with a leg monitor would be whatever concerns that the state may have or the court may have to know where he is. His grandmother has worked down here and understands how to communicate with the court. We have people and the bond restrictions of that. The court is aware of how significant the bond restrictions are in keeping them and writing a bond. Judge, we're coming at this is a significant oppressive and punitive bond and under the law in our opinion. We believe that the magistrate, when she set this bond, did not have any evidence in front of her and set it high. We also believe that after 8 days, had he had the money, he would have posted it, and he's sitting here in jail. In that those cases that the state and I have talked about, the court is well aware of a wide range that you have, but given these facts that Mr. Shook went over with no corroboration, we don't know anything about their case, this witness, who they are, the court doesn't. And given the facts presented, we're asking you to reduce this bond to an appropriate amount where he can abide by the conditions and come to court and we can fight this case.
Okay, thank you. State.
Yeah, sure, just briefly. In regards to an individual's ability to pay the bond, Ms. Alexander testified specifically that she is not involved in her grandson's business and doesn't keep up with his financial stuff. So she really was not in a position to testify what he can and what he cannot afford. She did testify to the fact that he is a double platinum, I believe as of recently 2 weeks ago, recording artist, that he travels about a quarter of the month, that he lives in a mansion in Frisco, that he drives a Denali, a bulletproof Denali, which also will lead into safety concerns. So the only thing that the court has as far as ability to pay or not to do it, or not having an ability to pay this bond, is the bank records which I've proffered to the court, as well as his own grandmother saying that he's a successful artist living in a mansion up in Frisco, that flies on private jets and travels. The important thing about the Denali is not just the fact of the cost and all of that, but it's the fact that when we're talking about safety concerns for the community, one of the factors that the court should take into consideration is, if this individual were to get out, is there a viable safety concern? The fact that the defendant has a bulletproof vehicle and drove one at the time and was arrested in it 8 days ago, that should tell you all you need to know. And that's not just based off of pure jealousy. Your Honor has been doing this long enough to know that is based off of something much greater than just pure jealousy. As far as safety circumstances for the community, this is, as defense has stated, a very high profile case. And this defendant is very well known, not only locally, not only in the state, but nationally and internationally. The fact that this individual has the means and the resources and the reach to get to witnesses is a true concern that the court should also take into consideration. And that this was part of a bigger thing that was going on in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, culminating in the death of Melvin Noble. The circumstances surrounding are not only the offense in itself, but the circumstances building up to Mr. Noble's death. And Your Honor, I didn't want to go back and forth with the defense on proffering cases of bonds and $2 million and $3 million bonds. But the truth is, this is a capital murder for remuneration. And the defendant is charged with paying other individuals to take another human life. And he has the financial means and the reach to do it. In fact, I think it's important that there was another victim. This was at noon on I-35 leading into downtown Dallas. 44 fired cartridge casings. Who knows how many others were knocked away by the cars that kept driving by. Melvin Noble was hunted down on November 11th in 2020, a beloved son of Dallas. It could have been so much worse, and that's a terrible thing to say when it's a capital murder for remuneration, where he has paid another man to hunt down and kill somebody in broad daylight. Your Honor, based off of all the testimony and the facts that have been presented in this court, we'd ask that you leave the bond where it's at, currently at $2 million.
All right, let me have the exhibits, and then if you all will give me about 10 minutes, I'll respond.
Got it, Your Honor.
Yes. But the defense did not have any exhibits, right?
No, Your Honor.
And this is just the video, right?
Yes, sir.
Anything else that I need to take with me?
And you had 1 and 2 still.
Yeah, I said.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right.
All day, all big day, all day. It's the one. We're going with that. We're going with that. We're gonna get
Lindsay.
Oh, no, you know, who is Crystal?
Who is Crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah, my court reporter there, Jamie, she was telling me about Crystal Higgins.
That's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I
It's
apologize.
All right.
Maybe see it. Okay, go ahead and get the defendant back out. Okay, the court, is the court ready?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court's ready to make my ruling. The court is going to reduce the bond to $750,000. The court took into consideration, certainly, the biggest consideration was the offense, the severity of this particular offense. It's pretty egregious to watch that video. But the court also took into consideration the evidence or lack of evidence that the state presented. That was a factor also. Another concern I had was the financial statement that the defendant was to put on file. He didn't seem to take that very seriously at all. And that causes me concern about whether or not he's taking seriously the allegations against him. So I am going to set the bond at $750,000 with the bond conditions that were already set. But included on that, I want it to be very clear, Mr. Conway, that you are to have no contact, direct or indirect, no threatening or harassment of any victim, witness, co-defendant. If it's you or anybody on your behalf, there's going to be a problem. Do you understand that? Okay, you all can stand, I'm talking to you now. So that's gonna be a concern. And then I want to make sure that you provide the court with correct information regarding your personal contact. Because basically, this affidavit seemed to be your way of saying, forget y'all. I don't want you opening your mouth. Yeah. Seemed to be your way of saying, forget y'all. So you need to provide correct, accurate information regarding who is your person of contact should there be any type of problem. I hope that you're taking this seriously because your responses in this affidavit kind of indicate that you're not. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No, I'm gonna say, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. There were a few things that really stood out to me in this bond hearing when it had come to Yella Beezy. One was the financials, the finances and things like that. And when they got grandma up on the stage, well, not on the stage, but on the stand, it was more of like, she at first, like, it was all fun and games, but then the prosecution started hitting, getting into the real questions. And I felt like she felt a little bit of that steam, and so being that this man, the charges, that he's in there on, I feel like grandma wanted to like play it down. Hold on. Um, am I echoing? All right, you guys, give me 1 second. Let me do something real quick. Okay. But so I do feel like, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And, that bond hearing, he's, allegedly if he did it. So hold on, y'all. I'm getting an echo. Okay, so right back into it. I just feel like with him, wanting a bond reduction and things like that, and his grandma comes out and say, well, he's not really making the money that you guys think that he's making. After the fact, she tells everybody that, oh yeah, he's a rapper, he's very well known, he makes, money or whatever. And when I saw this one interview, um, he stated that, if you went like if a song like really did good, he was pretty much saying that like you can eat off of it for like, you know, 3 years pretty much. Um and so it seemed like you know, he really had it together. As far as like when it had come to money. It was a little clip of an interview that he did, but then you gotta think about it like this. When you're talking about the street code and things like this, as I was doing some research, I heard that Beezy had a girlfriend and an alleged child, and they had come up deleted. And so I was like, wow. So from what I'm hearing, he's the only child. His mama passed, and from what I heard, Yella had a son and he had a girlfriend. Well, an alleged son, because I don't think they did um, Don't give me the line, but this is what I'm hearing: that he had a son and a girlfriend, and they were deleted. And pretty much anybody um, that's, I guess, gives him a problem, they allegedly come up missing. So when you think about the tactics of like threatening the witnesses or witness intimidation, I feel like there's a lot of that going on right now on these big content creators channels. Individuals, quote unquote, just popping up, but still getting their rocks off and, you know, letting their presence be known. I feel like there is still some intimidation. But then when you think about this, when the judge was like, the ankle monitor, they have to know where he is at all times and things of that nature. Something in my mind tells me that he didn't buck the system. Something in my mind tells me that he's didn't buck the system, communicating or getting some type of messages out there. I feel like a lot of people, I feel it in my spirit. Like people are just going to start confessing because right now, everything is cool because everybody's running free. But soon as that trial starts, it's no backing up. There's no backing out. And trust and believe, you know, I feel like the courts are playing it very smart. Yeah, we're not gonna lock everybody up right now because if they locked everybody up right now, who would be talking? You know, everybody think it's good. Everybody think, oh, the heat ain't on, baby. The heat is on. And the fact that this man's mother is dealing with like the loss of her child and she still has to experience bad dealings or bad business with somebody that claimed that, he was looking out for the best interest of her son, but now you done moved her out the way for the best interest of you. So I'm not just looking at all parties with the Yella Beezy. I'm looking at all parties involved on both sides. On his side and then on this other side. Because when you talk about the manager, and I mean, Diddy hadn't even, at least I know, Diddy hadn't even spoken down or uplifted another artist or put another artist above Biggie. But this particular manager right here, he's out here just pretty much dogging the man, Mo3, his manager, pretty much saying somebody's out here gonna be bigger than him. I just never seen it before. I really, I haven't seen it before. But then it's like, you're out here talking about, you know, you be in the streets, but you're not a street dude, and you giving the street dudes a bad rep. And, I don't know. It's just, if that's your thing, own it, own up to it. But to sit out here and be a menace to society is just diabolical. I mean, it be your own people in your own community. These black on black crimes, like, I just don't get it. And my thing is, if you made one, make another one. Make another one. But this court, this court is gonna be it's gonna be interesting. Let me see, how many days do we have left for it? Let me see. So oh, court is like in 3 weeks. So yeah, they got another one too. Yep, 2.5, almost 3 weeks. Yep, 3 weeks away. So it's 3 weeks away. And yeah, it's a lot going on. But I just want to come on here and just kind of replay that court scene with the bond hearing because I really wanted to focus on the money. But I feel like, they tried to play down the finances, in my opinion. But anywho, if you like this podcast, if you're with the Replay Gang, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell somebody that we were live, and we'll be back next time. Thank you.
Here he comes.
What's up, y'all? Coming to y'all live from London. Extremely humble, grateful, and blessed. Just got nominated for a Grammy. Let me make it clear. I didn't just get nominated for a Grammy. We just got nominated for a Grammy. Everybody tagged is a part of the project, and we got nominated. It's the unity, the black love, the black excellence, the love album, the R&B album of the year. No skips from top to bottom. Let's go. Yeah. Thank y'all so much. Every artist, everybody that listened to it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
People know exactly what they're doing until they get exposed. That's a word that came to one of the people on my team, and she gave it to me, and I'm giving it to you. People know exactly what they are doing until they get exposed. And once they get exposed, then they get confused, or they made a mistake, or they don't understand, and then people know exactly what they're doing.
I have no money problems, believe me.
So I'm thinking,
No
are you
money,
broke?
yes, no money problems whatsoever. That's Tony Braxton. That's not me. Are you broke? I have no money problems, believe me.
So I'm thinking,
No
are you
money,
broke?
yes, no money problems whatsoever. That's Tony Braxton.
Thank you for joining us. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Miss Monique, for
We
coming.
appreciate you, Miss Monique.
Thank y'all.
All right, brother. And it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Eddie, thank you so much, my sweet baby, for having us.
Why you keep thinking them, not me?
You know what, brother? You're going to hear yourself a lot from me lately. You're going to hear yourself around the world because we have to explain brothers like you. We do. And when we watched that movie, Birth of a Nation, and we saw that man walk his wife into that master's house, we watched him walk his wife in. Then we watched him go back and get him. You're that brother. I thank y'all for your time, my babies.
Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I want to thank you so much for coming by the Queen Tulsa Show. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Listen here. Welcome to Queen City. We want to take you on an adventure. If you would like to support this channel, you could do so at Cash App, $ beautiful 070707. We do have a PayPal. It is the Butterfly Lounge. And just by you simply coming by, liking, sharing on all of your platforms really does amazing for this channel, for the people. We hope that you are entertained. And also, please tell somebody that we're live. Until next time, so long.